Hello everyone, my name is Zach and this is Science Explosion, and you might be wondering what I'm doing outside with goggles on and gloves. Well, I'm doing that because this is the first experiment that I'm doing that I will actually not recommend you following along with. But this is a really cool one, so I wanted to show you it anyway. So, take an ordinary soda can, and what is it made out of? Well, it's going to be made out of aluminum, right? Everybody knows that. Simple answer. But is that all it's made out of? Well, not really. So, there is a secret hiding in your pop can. So, if you take a regular old can here, and I've got it just slightly out of frame, and you were to put it in a container and then fill that container with drain cleaner. This is why I'm saying that I'm not recommending you doing this. This is actually somewhat dangerous, and I did it outside, so the most ventilated area I could think of, plus I am wearing goggles, and I have let this sit to let the fumes dissipate for quite some time. Alright, so if you do that, that will eat away at the metal, and you'll be left with the other secret ingredient in cans. Now, what do you think it is that is also in cans? What do you think? Alright, so what it is there is actually a plastic lining on the inside of your pop can. And not just pop cans, but a lot of other cans too. Most cans that you get made of aluminum, whether it is pop, whether it's a can of peas or beans or whatever, it's going to be lined on the inside with plastic. It's fairly common. Now, I say this is a secret because most people don't know this, but the funny thing is, everybody in the industry who makes these things knows this. So, you might be wondering, well, does this affect the recycling of this? Well, not really. So it's a small enough amount that it does get recycled in with that aluminum, and from what I've been able to find out, it doesn't seem to cause any issues, but that's just what I've been able to find. You can feel free to look into this more if you like, but when I heard about this, I thought, well, that's really interesting, but I want to see for myself, is this really true that there is? Because I think there's a lot of people who are trying to get rid of plastic from their lives, and so they think, oh, a metal can, it'll get recycled. It's made of aluminum, there's no plastic in that. Well, I will tell you, I've got my can right here, and I put it in the liquid. Now, it didn't end up giving me a nice plastic sack like I've seen on some of the videos, but it did definitely show me this. So I've got the bottom of it right here. So you can see this is the metal part, and right there, this is plastic. So yes, I can confirm to you that if you are to dissolve the aluminum from the cans, it is in fact plastic on the inside of it. And I tried this with another one as well. So this was a pop can that I found on the ground, and this one was a beer can that I found on the ground, and that has it as well. You can see plastic, plastic, plastic. So for anyone that is trying to not have any plastic. By the way, to do this experiment, I first had to sand the outside of this to get it so that the chemicals could grip this. So this is a really interesting one, I think, because it shows you that there is a lot that gets put into the products that we use that you might not think about, and plastic is one of them. So I want you to really think, why is there plastic on the inside of your cans? It's a good question, because you would think that. So there's a few different answers to that, and they are very, very interesting. So one of the answers to that is that plastic is generally non-reactive to a lot of chemicals and to acidity, whereas metal is somewhat reactive. So aluminum is fairly non-reactive. So when I say non-reactive, that means that it doesn't react to those chemicals. Like, say, if I were to put this in an iron container, really anything acidic, it's going to eat into that not too long. It's a bad idea, which is why you don't have them made out of iron. You have them made out of aluminum. Well, one of the reasons. Aluminum is also very inexpensive. Didn't used to be, though. Used to be very expensive. But now it's not. So, plastic is also very, very cheap. So plastic is very inexpensive, and it doesn't cost them much to line the inside of them with that. The other thing is, so I mentioned that aluminum is not very reactive, but aluminum is somewhat reactive, and there's actually a lot of people who are lately bringing up concerns about whether aluminum is even safe. Some people say that you shouldn't even drink directly from a pop can. But I would recommend you look into that yourself. There is a lot of new information coming out all the time on that. Now, I find it interesting because I think that actually plastic is something that people are going to be much more concerned about in the future. And there are a lot of things, if you look up things like BPAs and related chemicals, there are some of those in a lot of those linings. Related chemicals to BPAs. BPAs have mostly been phased out. But I find it really interesting. So they put the plastic on the inside of these containers to try to make it more shelf stable, to just last longer. It's really all about cost. So that is the secret hiding in your pop can. And you can see this one here, little pieces of plastic right there. So safety first with this. I do not actually recommend following along with this. Normally I would say go ahead, but for this one I don't. But I think it is very interesting. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining me. Again, my name is Zach, and this is Hudson Public Library's Science Explosion. Thank you very much. Bye.